This is Media Mastery Experts Live Podcast. My name is Jenna Flanagan, and I am here with Brian Gorman. Brian, welcome to the show.
Jenna, it's so good to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, so you are leading a company or an organization that is addressing what seems to be the bane of everybody's existence, AI. So I'm just going to ask you what gives with businesses and AI, and then you take it from there.
Well, in one regard, it's a very simple question.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a simple question.
AI brings intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually commoditizing intelligence, which means the differentiator more and more is going to be the wisdom by which we use it.
Oh, I already got a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between wisdom and intelligence? Because we use those words interchangeably.
And that's part of the problem. So many people think intelligence and wisdom are the same, and they're not.
Oh, no.
Wisdom is judgment, it's discernment. This is what the models tell us, this is the optimization direction, whatever. And ethically, morally, responsibility to the community, we're not following what AI is telling us to do in this case. So wisdom is about judgment, it's about discernment, it's about taking the time to reflect about the tensions that exist when people see things differently, taking the time to work those through.
Okay, so when it comes to business leadership, does that require the kind of wisdom that you just described? No, because we see so many stories of so many larger businesses that are just like, this AI stuff is great. We're going to use this program and fire 30,000 people. And we're seeing this happen over and over. Now, it's not all businesses, but we are seeing these headlines over and over again. And I feel like it's creating a sense of deep anxiety among the American populace.
And it rightfully should. There's a whole ethical question around that we're not going to get into here, but AI can be a catalyst for a much more human and humane workplace. Or we can head into this dystopian future that so many people are predicting. But what's important is we need to decide now. The window isn't that big. The more we go down that pathway of letting AI lead us, the more difficult it's going to be to change direction.
Okay, all right. So I feel like I'm picking up what you're putting down here, but I do have the follow-up question of where are you getting this sense of authority to speak on this? I'm a person of a certain age, so my reference point to an AI nightmare is Skynet from the Terminator, but I feel like, history, I do know, can be cyclical, if you will. So has our society ever faced a challenge like this before? And what is it in your background that you're bringing to be able to say, yeah, here's what happened before, here's what we did, and that's how I know that this window is where we are now?
So there are a couple of things. The first thing is intuitively, for some reason, I have no idea why, I have, since very early in my professional career, had the ability to see a little bit over the horizon.
Okay.
But very concretely, my background is in cultural anthropology.
Oh.
And about 3 months ago, and I was heading this direction much before 3 months ago, but about 3 months ago, I began to do research on the steam engine and how the steam engine evolved its place in business, in society, and so forth. And really, what the steam engine changed was labor.
Mm-hmm.
We have the same pattern happening again with AI.
Mm-hmm.
But what AI is changing is judgment. And if we don't learn those lessons from the steam engine, history does repeat itself. We're going to make the same mistakes all over again.
And what, just so that we know, were the mistakes made by the steam? That would be the Gilded Age, maybe not quite.
I don't know.
Okay, anyway, it doesn't really matter. What were the lessons that should have been learned from the introduction of the steam engine changing labor needs in the workforce?
The most important is the short-term decision doesn't necessarily deliver the long-term benefit.
Oh.
And because we are so focused in this economy on the quarterly return, AI is driving us to lay off 30,000 people. But in fact, those short-term decisions have long-term impact. And if we don't think about that long-term impact, there's a price to pay.
So, what is one of the ways that you help business leaders address this new technology, and either to embrace it or to understand what it is there for and not what it can replace?
The big question isn't what is the technology I should be using. The big question is, what decisions must I slow down and hold on to as leadership decisions in this organization, not technology.
Okay, slow down, because that feels very antithetical to the way business is run in this country right now.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying if we don't do that, then we are heading into this more dystopian world. And a question for you, if I may.
Sure.
If we lay off all of these entry-level white-collar positions, which more and more leaders are saying we're going to be doing or we have done, how do we train people for the next level in the organization?
Yeah.
And that's my concern, that not only are we just putting people out on the street, but we are not paying attention to the longer-term implications of what that means.
Well, we've got literally just a few seconds left, but can you sort of give me, seeing just over the horizon, a best, and I don't want to say worst case, but let's say a non-ideal scenario of what happens if we do heed what you're saying and if we don't?
The best case scenario is we develop a much more human and humane workplace than we have ever had before.
Okay.
A worst case scenario, or certainly less than favorable scenario, is that we really cause significant social and economic upheaval.
Okay. Well, thank you for not saying the Terminator, because that's my fear. Brian, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. This has been great.
Jenna, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Absolutely.